Chapter 1236. Cultivation itself is enjoyment. Yao Huang's attitude was very firm. Heavenly Lord Baizu laughed. You don't have to worry about this. Chu Du understands this and has already talked to me. He can concede on this point. That's good. Yao Huang nodded. Both of them talked for a while more. Their chess game was half done. They had wasted enough time. Both immortals flew down from white heaven. Next, they announced that Yao Huang had won the battle by a slight margin, and this blood battle martial competition ended with the victory of the Huang Jin tribes. Chu sect and Baizu tribes Gu immortals had grim expressions. Only Chu Du was calm. He had expected this. In contrast, the Huang Jin tribe Gu immortals were in a joyous mood. The consequences that followed would not be detailed, but the blood battle martial competition that shook Northern Plains Gu immortal world came to an end. Southern border, giant dream realm. Deep in the sea, there was darkness. One could not see their own fingers. Fang Yuan was inside, suffering huge injuries. The pressure of the sea was intense. Most importantly, around him, there were countless long dragon silhouettes, swimming around him vigilantly. These were dragons living in the sea. Each sea dragon had desolate beast-level battle strength. There were hundreds or thousands of sea dragons moving in countless layers. Fang Yuan was currently a rank 6 Gu immortal, but facing this sea dragon group, there was nothing he could do. The most troublesome thing is that I need to kill all of the sea dragons to pass this 9th scene of the dream realm. Fang Yuan smiled bitterly internally. If this was reality, it was unclear what the chances would be for him to break out of the encirclement and try to survive this dangerous situation. But in this dream realm, there were specific rules. If Fang Yuan wanted to break out and survive, the dream realm exploration would fail. Fang Yuan had no way out to kill these sea dragons. With just my foundation and methods in this dream realm, it is impossible. Thus, if Fang Yuan wanted to pass this, he had only one option available. Immortal Killer move Unravel Dream. But there are so many sea dragons. Unravel Dream can be used less than 10 times. It cannot resolve this huge problem. It seems that this scene is the final moment of the Dream Realm's main character. Fang Yuan gained deep insight. Dream Realms had different categories. Most were realistic dream realms. They replicated the life form's experiences in their lives. But there were also few which were rare and peculiar. Dream realms that were strange and weird. Fang Yuan was exploring a realistic dream realm, but the severity of the content might be exaggerated compared to the actual event, even though there was some actual scenes that happened before. This Gu immortal was once a combat immortal. Sect Gu master. He had decent aptitude, but after becoming rank 6, compared to other Gu immortals, he was no longer so amazing. The 10 great ancient sects of Central Continent allocate resources according to sect contribution. This Gu immortal's aptitude was far from exemplary. He did not have great strength or powerful methods. It was hard to get sect contribution points, so he could not get much resources. That was why he went to explore Eastern Sea. In the end, when he passed the regional walls, his immortal aperture's foundation was damaged. Next, he heard some rumors about the immortal Gu House Dragon Palace and came to this sea area. In the end, he died here from the attacks of the sea dragons. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan made up his mind. He chose to give up. He left this dream realm. Normally speaking, the deeper one gets into the dream realm, the greater their gains after getting past the scene. But Fang Yuan wisely chose to retreat. He withheld his remaining uses of Unravel Dream. He was not going to waste them here for no reason. A moment later, Fang Yuan returned to reality. Using Guts Gu to heal himself, he inspected his own body again. Water Path Quasi-Grandmaster. His attainment level did not change. He was still a distance away from Grandmaster level. But it was already enough to many of the blessed lands in City Well, because most of them were rank 6 blessed lands. According to my current situation, it would be best if I could raise all of my attainment levels to at least Master. That way, I would be able to annex any rank 6 blessed land. Even though rank 6 blessed lands have diminishing effect on raising my cultivation level, with enough quantity, the gains are still very prominent. Fang Yuan thought. Next, he entered his own dream realm and refined some dream path mortal Gu. Of course, he used some time for deductions as well. These last days, he had an inspiration. To fuse the killer move's myriad self and sword dragon transformation. His deductions were progressing smoothly. Feng Yuan had enough strength path attainment, and his transformation path attainment level was also Grandmaster. The only drawback was that his wisdom path deduction methods were slightly lacking. But it was no problem. Lady White Rabbit came to report to him about the situation of the immortal opportunity business, as well as some information. Feng Yuan sat down on his cushion as he shut his eyes, telling her, "Go ahead and talk. I am listening." Feng Yuan was deducing his own matters while listening to Lady White Rabbit. He was multitasking that a wisdom path grandmaster could do this with ease. Lady White Rabbit talked as she looked at Feng Yuan's face. Deep affection was in her gaze. But to her disappointment, until she finished her report, Feng Yuan did not open his eyes to look at her once. "Okay, you can go now," Feng Yuan said. Lady White Rabbit could only leave slowly while feeling disappointed, as she looked at him with a longing gaze. Outside the room, Wuan was waiting long ago. "Lady, this way please." Wuan's attitude towards Lady White Rabbit was even more polite than before. Lady White Rabbit was allowed to meet Feng Yuan. This showed that he still favored her. Thus, Wuan placed a lot of importance on Lady White Rabbit, because she represented the future of the immortal opportunity business. Lady White Rabbit was a little worried, asking Wuan, "Wuan, does Lord Wu Yihai cultivate like this all the time?" Wuan was stunned. "What do you mean?" Lady White Rabbit sighed in a gloomy tone. "Lord Wu Yihai cultivates really hard. He does not even waste any second of his time. Even when listening to my report, he did not stop cultivating. Has he always been like this?" Wuan blinked. "Lady, I will speak the truth. Even though I have never watched Lord Wu Yihai cultivate, just a glimpse can tell many things. Lord Wu Yihai might be the most hard-working cultivator I have ever seen in my life. Disregarding anything else, just the fact that he is staying in his room and cultivating without leaving for so long, that would be impossible for me." Lady White Rabbit became even more worried. "Precisely so. I am worried about Lord Wu Yihai. When he cultivates, he truly risks his life. There is a limit to cultivation speed. If he keeps at this, I am afraid he might not be able to endure it, and his mental state would be ruined. Wuan, if you have a chance, you must talk to Lord Wu Yihai, okay?" Wuan thought, "You have met with him more than I have. What can I do?" But he still nodded, acknowledging, "If I get a chance, I will talk to Lord Wu Yihai about this." Feng Yuan analyzed Lady White Rabbit's information. He had a clear grasp of Southern Border's situation all along thanks to this. All in all, Southern Border was still quite peaceful. Even though Wu Duxiu died, and Wu clan only had one rank 8 Gu Immortal, Wu Yong, left. But this person displayed great battle strength and political methods after taking over Wu clan. Precisely so, even though Ba clan, Tai clan and others were watching closely, they had to contain their dark intentions. The situation of the rank 8 Gu Immortals was reflected on Southern Border in many aspects. The situation at the Super Gu formation was still calm. The immortal opportunity business was ongoing. Gu Immortals benefited and profited secretly. They were very happy. There were also Gu Immortals who did not participate, simply looking on from afar. The Northern Plains blood battle martial competition has ended. Chu sect became Chu tribe. Bai Zhu tribe was preserved, while the Huang Jin tribes won and gained a lot of cultivation resources. This way, Northern Plains is also stabilizing. Eastern Sea, Western Desert, and Central Continent have little information available. Most of them are obtained from Treasure Yellow Heaven. I only have a vague idea. But they are also relatively peaceful now. In truth, a peaceful state was most common in the 5 regions, who would go ahead and fight to the death if a peaceful life was available. Northern Plains chaos was thanks to Feng Yuan. He destroyed 88 True Yang building, and in addition to Shadow Sect schemes, a terrifying situation was created. Only in the 5 regions' chaotic war did the 5 regions go into chaos. All sorts of order was torn down. Fighting to become Gu Immortal was the main trend. The current situation was very calm. This was best for Feng Yuan. He entered his own dream realm, refining his dream path Mortal Gu. Amidst green and verdant mountains, the merchant caravan was temporarily resting at the base of a mountain. Boom! Moonlight curved in the air agilely, moving past a rock ahead and hitting the tree branch behind it accurately. Immediately, Wood shavings were sliced off. The thin branch was nearly cut down by the moonlight. After practicing for so many days, I finally succeeded. Feng Yuan was covered in sweat. He felt immense joy. Lad, not bad, huh? Gu Master Big Beard walked towards Feng Yuan. Uncle Beard, thanks for teaching me this. Feng Yuan gave a wide smile. He showed his white teeth as he smiled. He was a bright and joyful lad. Gu Master Big Beard was almost blinded by his shining aura. He blinked as he asked in confusion. Normal people would only be able to go through such intense training for a week or so. But you woke up early and slept late. You would cultivate so long as you had the time. After a month, your enthusiasm has not faded yet. Is this boring cultivation process really so interesting? Feng Yuan clenched his fists. His eyes were shining like the stars in the sky. Of course, uncle. Don't you find it amazing and incredible? A person can unleash incredible attacks with a wave of their hand. Cultivation itself is a very enjoyable thing. Chapter 1237, Dragon Lady. Gu Master Big Beard naturally did not understand Feng Yuan's emotions. As a transmigrator from Earth, the special abilities of Gu Masters were simply superhuman. Turning from a normal person to a superhuman, of course Feng Yuan would be excited and enthusiastic. Furthermore, my aptitude is low, only at C grade. How can I not work harder? The young Feng Yuan chuckled as he spoke. Uncle, go ahead with your business. I will continue cultivating. Feng Yuan said again. Gu Master Big Beard laughed as he shook his head, tactfully leaving. Standing afar, he looked at Feng Yuan, who was cultivating earnestly. He had a complex gaze as he muttered. Even if you work so hard, what for? C-grade aptitude. Cruel reality will assault you and extinguish that fire of enthusiasm. Failure will get rid of your excitement. Such enthusiasm and hard work, how long can it last? At another corner of the dream realm, the real Feng Yuan was holding onto the branch that was nearly cut off by the moonlight. Not bad. This dream path goo material is quite good. If I am lucky, I can refine more than 10 dream path mortal goo. He smiled lightly as his deep, dark pupils flickered with light, resembling stars in the sky. By Xiang Grotto Heaven, the humans alike dragon's goo refinement method was at its final crucial moment. Persevere. You cannot slack for even a moment. Master, you can do it. You can definitely succeed. By Xiang Heavenly Spirit screamed. The goo formation was operating. The pillar of light was tall and mighty, like it was holding up heaven and earth. The center of the pillar was so shiny that one could not look at the light directly. There was a human-shaped figure of fire in it. It was by Ning Bing. His face and body had all melted, like candles that were exposed to intense heat. His hair was all burned. His eyes were blind. Even his hands and legs were all melted into one. By Ning Bing was nothing like a human. The intense pain had never stopped assaulting him for the last weeks. Initially, he screamed in pain, roaring at the sky, nearly fainting. But afterwards, he survived countless dangerous situations, forcibly preserving his life until now, gritting his teeth and enduring. Next, his teeth and tongue were also melted by the raging wave rising dragon fire. Fusing together, he smiled a relentless smile. Next, he could not even smile anymore, because his nose and face had all melted, like wax. Now he was just a human pole. It was a horrific sight, but Bai Xiang Heavenly Spirit could sense Bai Ning Bing's determination. His determination was firm as steel. After the burning of the fire and the pain that tempered him, he was becoming more firm and unwavering. Such determination made even Bai Xiang Heavenly Spirit lost for words. Initially, even Bai Xiang Heavenly Spirit did not think Bai Ning Bing would succeed, because Bai Ning Bing's situation was too terrible, the humans alike. Dragon's goo refinement method was extremely dangerous. Every goo refinement carried risks of failure. In history, any goo master or goo immortal who tried to turn into a dragon man would be extremely careful and make ample preparations, only taking this risk after they were sufficiently prepared. Boom! An intense sound resembled the striking of thunder. The pillar of light dissipated, as a lump of fire flew upwards. That it was shaped like a fiery dragon. Its red body was strong as ever. After flying one round in the sky, it flew down towards Bai Ning Bing. Bai Ning Bing was a lump of meat now, his bones, flesh, down marks, blood, and skin were all fused into one. The meat seemed like a bottomless hole, absorbing the whole of the fiery dragon that crashed towards it. Next, the meat turned red. The temperature rose. Intense flames were raging nearby, causing distortions in the air due to the high heat. When the lump of meat became red to the extreme, it exploded. Within a bright light, a brand new Bai Ning Bing was born. Success. We succeeded. Bai Xiang, heavenly spirit, stared with wide eyes and muttered. Under the rays of the lingering light, Bai Ning Bing raised her head to the sky, only to hear her say, 10,000 Li Mountain and 9 layers of the abyss, dragons coil at the bottom of the well. Today I rise up towards the clouds. My proud body soars towards true freedom. Her voice sounded like the roar of a dragon. Winds were rumbling as it echoed in the entire Bai Xiang grotto heaven. Bai Xiang, heavenly spirit, was in admiration. He knelt on the ground and said, "Congratulations to Master's new life. You have regained your immortal status." Bai Ning Bing stopped her roaring. She descended. She was expressionless. Her skin was white as snow. Her facial features were even more distinct now. Her beauty had surpassed her former self. Her pale blue dragon eyes were emitting a cold aura to the outside world. But at the next moment, shock was expressed in her dragon eyes. What is going on? I already became an immortal. I have a real immortal aperture. Why did I become a woman? This, Bai Xiang, heavenly spirit, thought about his words carefully before explaining. The humans alike dragon's Gu refinement method uses master as the immortal material. The result of the refinement depends on the proportion of immortal materials and how they mix together. Master had transformation path Dao marks earlier. To think that these Dao marks would affect your body and actually influence the final result of the Gu refinement, turning you into a dragon lady. Bai Ning Bing. She realized that the information path Dao marks and all her alliance agreements were gone, but the transformation path Dao marks still affected the results of her refinement. Like what the heavenly spirit said, the humans alike dragon's Gu refinement method could not be strictly controlled. The participating immortal material had a lot of influence on the result. Bai Ning Bing furrowed her brows. This was like a curse. Her female body curse had started ever since she was in Qingmao Mountain. After pondering for a while, Bai Ning Bing asked, "How can I turn back to a man?" Bai Xiang, heavenly spirit, replied, "This is easy. Just cultivate transformation path in addition." Bai Ning Bing was knowledgeable. She shook her head. "That does not solve the underlying problem. I have my northern dark ice soul physique. I will cultivate ice and snow path in the future." Bai Xiang, heavenly spirit, thought about it before saying, "Master, you have been reborn. The female body is your true gender. But if you want to change it, you will need to approach its root cause and find the other half of that rotation Gu from the past and refine it into an immortal Gu. Using that immortal Gu, you will be able to become a man." Bai Ning Bing. The image of a person appeared in her mind uncontrollably. "Fong Yuan, to think that you would still be an obstacle to me now." Bai Ning Bing snorted internally. She knew that Fong Yuan had the rank 8 battle strength upper extreme heavenly eagle. She had a plan for a long time to get that crucial Gu worm from Fong Yuan. Central continent, Spirit Affinity House. Above the clouds, Gu immortals gathered. Spirit Affinity House's first supreme elder said, "Bu Zhenzi, you have to protect our sex fairy in this northern plains journey. She is only a false immortal, and her ascension was only recently." Bu Zhenzi was a supreme elder of Spirit Affinity House, a rank 7 phantom path Gu immortal. He said, "Everyone, as long as I am alive, I will ensure her safety." He spoke with great confidence. First Supreme Elder nodded, looking at Zhao Lianyun. "You must not charge ahead in this journey. Always protect your own safety. Leave the rest to the others. The Gu immortals going with you are all elite experts of the 10 great ancient sects. With our advantage as the attacker, there is a high chance of success." Zhao Lianyun nodded. She understood now that this granny was actually the Gu immortal with the highest authority in Spirit Affinity House. She bowed deeply to the first supreme elder, Su Hao, and Li Juning. "I am going now." Set off. First supreme elder waved her hand up. Bu Zhenzi cupped his fists, bringing Zhao Lianyun with him, riding on a ruin bat and flying away. To think that Zhao Lianyun would become our sex fairy. Heaven is toying with us. I wonder if she will be able to save that Ma Hongyun. In my opinion, the chances are high. After all of the Gu immortals going to Northern Plains are elites of our sex. This is a powerful force. The Gu immortals conversed as they left. I will go talk to our daughter. Fairy Baiqing had a look of worry as she spoke to Feng Jiuge. Feng Jiuge nodded. This time, he also wanted to go to Northern Plains, but Heavenly Court denied his suggestion. Feng Jiuge was a legendary genius rarely seen in thousands of years. He was so talented none could match him. He possessed rank 8 battle strength with just rank 7 cultivation level. According to common logic, he would be the best person to send to Northern Plains, but he was unable to become part of the rescue. Teamed at this point, Feng Jiuge did not know what Heavenly Court was thinking or planning. When Fairy Baiqing met with Feng Jin Huang, the latter was sitting by the lake, looking at the ripples on the surface as she went into a daze. Fairy Baiqing felt caring and affection in her heart. She knew her daughter had always wanted to become Spirit Affinity House's fairy. She worked hard for it. But now, Zhao Linyun gained Love Gu's acknowledgement. She was also supported by Heavenly Court, becoming Spirit Affinity House's fairy. This way, Feng Jin Huang was eliminated from the competition. Fairy Baiqing walked towards Feng Jin Huang. Why? Still thinking about the fairy position? No, mother, I was thinking, why did I not obtain Love Gu's acknowledgement? Feng Jin Huang's eyes were red. She had secretly cried earlier. That is because you do not have love. Fairy Baiqing sat beside Feng Jin Huang, stretching out her hand as she touched Feng Jin Huang's hair. Feng Jin Huang asked, why do I not have love? What is love? Fairy Baiqing's gaze flickered. She thought about it before saying, love is different from familial affection and friendship. It is a type of affinity, like when I met your father. Love came suddenly and nobody expected it. Love cannot be forced. It is all up to your affinity. Feng Jin Huang shook her head. I do not want to leave it to fate. This is not my style. I want to find love and be acknowledged by Love Gu, and take back the position of fairy. Mother, do you think this is possible? Fairy Baiqing smiled. This was basically impossible, but seeing her daughter's expectant gaze, as a mother, how could she say the truth? Thus, she said, there is a possibility, but you need to find a lover first. A lover is not your father or mother, or those female companions by your side. Chapter 1238, Luck Path Master. Mother, you mean to say, it has to be, Feng Jin Huang frowned. In the process of her growth, there were few youngsters who could match her. Spirit Affinity House had more women than men. This made Feng Jin Huang look down on those males of her generation since a young age. There was another important reason. That was, Feng Jin Huang's father was too talented. It elevated her expectations. She could not see anything good in those boys around her. Fairy Baiqing nodded, asking teasingly, that's right, Huang Heir. Among those youngsters you met, who are you interested in? Feng Jin Huang frowned. After thinking about it, she shook her head. Fairy Baiqing almost laughed out loud. Her daughter's puzzled look was extremely cute. She asked again, then let me change my question. Which youngster left the deepest impression on you? At this moment, Feng Jin Huang was stunned. Feng Yuan's image uncontrollably appeared in her mind. Feng Yuan was the one who dealt a pitiful defeat to her. Feng Jin Huang would never forget the scene on Dang Hun Mountain. Furthermore, Feng Yuan had saved Feng Jiuji's life before. All of these events made Feng Jin Huang have extremely complex feelings towards Feng Yuan. It was not pure hatred, it was also not pure gratitude. Fairy Baiqing looked at Feng Jin Huang, who was in a daze, and her expression turned dark. She became flustered as she blamed herself. Oh no, why did I forget about Feng Yuan's existence? Fairy Baiqing quickly said, Huang Heir, don't think about it. As a mother, Fairy Baiqing was very worried. Even though Feng Jin Huang had grown a lot, she was still innocent regarding relationships, like a blank white sheet of paper. That Feng Yuan is an otherworldly demon. He used spring-autumn cicada to rebirth. His actual age is probably older than both myself and your father, Fairy Baiqing said in a solemn time. Most importantly, he is listed on the Demon Judgment Board. He is a vicious and evil demon, slaughtering countless and causing great harm to the world. He is very dangerous. But he saved father. Feng Jin Huang retorted. Fairy Baiqing said in a serious tone, looking deeply into Feng Jin Huang's eyes. You must remember this. Gratitude and enmity cannot be mixed together. You need to draw the line. His gratitude of saving your father's life was a coincidence. We will definitely repay him. But he is a demonic path member. He is vile and vicious. After repaying that debt, if we meet him again, we will exterminate him. Understood. Feng Jin Huang nodded. Understood. Southern border. Feng Yuan was inside the dream realm. Achoo. Achoo. Feng Yuan sneezed twice. He rubbed his nose as he said to the female Gu master in front of him. Again. The female Gu master was at the counter in front of him. She took out 3 rocks. Please. This was another dream realm. The earlier water path dream realm was too hard at the end. Feng Yuan gave up. A few days later, the dream realm changed, and a suitable one appeared for Feng Yuan. What made him happy was that successfully exploring this dream realm would raise his luck path attainment level. Luck path Gu immortals were very few in numbers, because even though Giant Sun Immortal Venerable created luck path, he did not spread it. Thus, dream realms that contained luck path true meaning were rare. It was unlikely that Feng Yuan could encounter such a dream realm. Feng Yuan looked at the 3 rocks. He knew that according to the rules, he would need to win 3 consecutive times, finding the most valuable item in these 3 rocks to get to the second scene. Rock gambling. I succeeded twice already. If I fail now, my efforts would be in vain. I should use Unravel Dream. Feng Yuan activated the Immortal Killer move Unravel Dream. After waiting for a while, nothing happened. What is going on? While he was confused, the female Gu master who attended to him looked at him amorously and whispered, "Little brother, choose the middle one. Don't worry, I won't harm you." Saying this, she winked at Feng Yuan in a subtle manner. It had a teasing flavor. Feng Yuan finally realized. This was Unravel Dream's effect. He did not hesitate. He grabbed the middle one that the 3 rocks were opened. None had any Gu worms, but with the quality of the rocks themselves, the middle one had the highest value. The first scene faded as he quickly entered the second scene. Northern Plains, Longevity Heaven. Rank 8 Immortal Gu House. Calamity Luck Altar. 3 floors of round altars with multiple pillars holding it up. White jade railings and shining aurora. 8 Gu Immortals in Longevity Heaven were standing at the center of the 9 corners of Calamity Luck Altar, doing their best to concentrate in controlling the operations of Calamity Luck Altar. At the center of Calamity Luck Altar, 5 Elements Grandmaster had a solemn expression. He was surrounded by 3 layers of rings in the 5 elements. But Calamity Luck Altar's pressure was increasing. 5 Elements Grandmaster had to use his true abilities to resist it. Both parties were silent, because it was clear that both sides could not be moved with just words. But at this moment, the entirety of Longevity Heaven resounded with bell chimes. The 8 extremities heard the bell chimes and shook. They were shocked and full of questions. This is the Immortal Killer move ringing alarm bell. Why did it activate? In the past, Ancestor Giant Sun set up this Immortal Killer move in Longevity Heaven. If we met with trouble, it would activate. But 5 Elements Grandmaster has already been trapped. The 8 extremities were conversing, feeling lost. The leader of the 8 extremities, Heaven Extremity, said, "No." Even when 5 Elements Grandmaster attacked, ringing alarm bell did not activate. Right now, it is pointing to another danger. The others were flustered. This means that the following calamity is going to be more severe than 5 Elements Grandmaster's attack. Right now, we have to use our full strength to suppress 5 Elements Grandmaster using Calamity Luck Altar. We cannot divert our attention. How will we deal with it? With Calamity Luck Altar here, heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities cannot do anything to us. It has to be a terrifying human calamity instead. The second in charge, Earth Extremity, looked at Heaven Extremity and said, "In this situation, we can only awaken the 4 Desolation Immortals." Heaven Extremity had a solemn expression as he nodded. 5 Elements Grandmaster spoke with a smile. Longevity Heaven can barely fend for itself. I am curious, what kind of disaster can make this ringing alarm bell activate? Heaven Extremity was about to speak when a voice could be heard near him. These so-called disasters are accompanied by fortune and good luck. They are luck path in essence, a type of uncertainty. As Gu Immortals, we have to turn these negative uncertainties into positive uncertainties. The concept of calamity luck altar was derived from this. Heaven Extremity heard this voice and felt great joy and surprise. Point 5 Elements Grandmaster looked at this mysterious goo immortal who appeared, asking, "Which of the 4 Desolation Immortals are you?" "Greetings to Lord South Desolation." The 8 Extremities respectfully greeted at once, giving the answer to 5 Elements Grandmaster. Longevity Heaven had 12 positions, separated into 8 extremities and 4 desolations. The 4 Desolation Immortals were East Desolation, South Desolation, West Desolation, and North Desolation, for rank 8 Immortals respectively. The 8 extremities were Heaven Extremity, Earth Extremity, Black Extremity, Yellow Extremity, Space Extremity, Time Extremity, Flood Extremity, Desolate Extremity, a total of 8 rank 7 goo immortals. Of course, Longevity Heaven was Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's Grotto Heaven. It had a huge space and abundant resources. Other than these 12, there were other goo immortals. But these 12 had the core authority of Longevity Heaven. They were elites among goo immortals. South Desolation Immortal wore an azure gold suit of armor. His beard extended to his chest. He was a muscular man with an old appearance. He said, "When the bell rang, I woke up. This sound has 3 long notes and 2 short notes. It is neither fast or slow. It means that Love Goo has entered Northern Plains. Love Goo has the power to defy fate. In the past, even Ancestor was wary of it. To obtain Love Goo, Ancestor made a bet with Heavenly Court, but he failed to refine it even after 3 years. He could only set up some supreme luck path methods in it that would activate one day. Love Goo would come to Northern Plains due to luck, and this would be the best opportunity for us to snatch Love Goo." Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's Immortal Killer move was very amazing. His descendants could gain some information just by hearing the bells. Even though the 8 extremities knew of ringing alarm bell, they did not know its specific details. After hearing South Desolation Immortal's words, they were excited. It turned out that long ago, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had made his preparations. Heaven Extremity said, "Us 8 extremities will follow Lord South Desolation's lead. We are willing to die for Longevity Heaven and obtain Love Immortal Goo." Southern Border. This is by Xiang Grotto Heaven. He Lulon stepped through the Immortal Aperture's entrance, officially getting into Bai Xiang Grotto Heaven. Tai Bai Yun Shang, Ing Wu Xie, and Shirnu followed behind. Something's not right. Ing Wu Xie's expression changed. The next moment, the surroundings changed. The goo formation was activated, trapping the 4 immortals in a special space. Bai Ningbing's figure slowly appeared. Shirnu was shocked and furious. He growled, "You are Bai Ningbing? You dare to betray us?" Remnants of Shadow Sect. Today will be the day you die." Bai Ningbing smiled coldly. A cruel light was shining in her pale blue dragon eyes. Ing Wuxia was greatly surprised. Bai Ningbing had broken free of his control. This was out of his expectations. He had a flash of inspiration. "So that's it. You used the humans-alike dragon's goo refinement method?" This method had been lost long ago. Bai Xiang Grotto Heaven actually had it. "Honestly speaking, I need to thank you. Now accept this present of gratitude from me." Bai Ningbing snickered. The image of the 4 immortals faded in front of her before they vanished completely. "Wait, we can still negotiate." Ing Wuxia had not finished his words when the goo formation activated. Large amounts of snow rained as countless ice spears shot up from the ground. The 4 immortals quickly defended themselves. Remains of Etion Mountain. Inside the super goo formation, Feng Yuan opened his eyes, returning to reality. His soul was extremely weak, but it was not a problem. He had enough guts goo to use. Luck Path Master. Feng Yuan inspected himself. His luck path attainment had risen to master level. The luck path dream realm earlier was fully explored. He had no remaining uses of Unravel Dream. But his gains were huge. His luck path attainment had jumped from ordinary to master attainment level. He immediately felt a difference. This feeling was mystical. It could not be described with words. If my luck path attainment is at Grandmaster level, I might want to get the self-luck true inheritance from Lanya Land. Spirit, if I can use it well, my strength would rise greatly. In my current case, I feel like I can already use Unravel Mystery Immortal Goo and Dogshit Luck Immortal Goo together to greatly boost the effect of my Immortal Killer Move Chi Luck Sensation. Chapter 1239, filled with killing intent. Chi Luck Sensation. This immortal killer move came from Hei Fan Grotto Heaven. The inheritance of Gu Immortal Feng Jun that it used Chi Luck Immortal Gu as the core, with supplementary Mortal Gu, to allow a Gu Immortal to sense people who were closely related to them in terms of luck. Furthermore, the closer they were to each other, the clearer the connection would feel. Feng Yuan used this move to sense the locations of xianxia and the rest, even though they were separated by regional walls. This was because xianxia and the rest had their luck connected to Feng Yuan. After using Connect Luck, both parties would have their luck closely connected. They would share both fortune and disaster together. However, with xianxia's methods, he was able to negate a portion of the effect of Chi Luck Sensation. He even could hide inside an immortal aperture to cut himself off from Feng Yuan's detection. Feng Yuan was very wary of xianxia and Gang. Even though Shadow Sect was a fraction of its former size, a broken ship was still better than a plank. A dying camel was larger than a horse. By just gathering Shadow Sect's remaining resources, xianxia and the rest would grow much more rapidly than Feng Yuan and at a steadier rate. This time, after elevating Chi Luck Sensation, I should be able to detect the locations of xianxia and the rest. I will eliminate them in advance and get rid of this huge threat. Feng Yuan decided to add Unravel Mystery into Chi Luck Sensation, causing this killer move to have 2 cores instead of 1. Unravel Mystery Immortal Gu is Wisdom Path. I should add some Wisdom Path Gu in. After that, I will use some Groupthink Gu and some Mortal Connect Luck Gu, and some Pair Gu and Sequence Gu. Feng Yuan did not make any deductions. He was making decisions based on his instincts that a large number of Mortal Gu were added in. Among these Gu Worm, a portion were owned by Feng Yuan, but he had to buy more of them through Treasure Yellow Heaven. Without any hurdles, soon, he obtained these Gu Worms. But next, he did not activate the Immortal Killer move immediately. He went to do further testing. After adding so many Gu Worms, Chi Luck Sensation had changed greatly. If he activated it blindly, he might just fail immediately. Feng Yuan might get injured, or worse, his Gu Worms might be destroyed. Destroying Mortal Gu was fine, but if his Immortal Gu were destroyed, what would he do? When Gu Immortals create a new Immortal Killer move, the experimentation process was also very risky. Feng Yuan first separated the new Chi Luck Sensation into several portions and did experiments on them one by one. That the results of the experiments were very good. Not a single one failed. Feng Yuan next used Wisdom Path methods to deduce, modify, and improve on the newly created Chi Luck Sensation. Half a day later, Feng Yuan finally finished his deductions. He activated the newly modified Chi Luck Sensation for the first time. Halfway through activating it, a small problem that was beyond Feng Yuan's estimations occurred. It was not a big problem, but the result of success might possibly be affected. Feng Yuan was vigilant. He forcibly stopped the activation. Many Mortal Gu were destroyed. Feng Yuan did not even blink at the result. As long as Chi Luck Immortal Gu and Unravel Mystery Immortal Gu were fine, it was no problem. He was very rich now. Expending some Mortal Gu was simply a negligible loss to Feng Yuan. As for the supplementary Mortal Gu, they did not need to be purchased. Feng Yuan had considered this situation long ago. Thus he purchased more than what he needed for one activation. He continued to deduce and found out the reasons that resulted in this unexpected change. This time, Feng Yuan spent half a day again modifying the Immortal Killer move. After fixing it, he experimented again. This time, towards the later half of the Immortal Killer move, a mishap occurred again. The Immortal Killer move used too many Gu Worms. Feng Yuan could not completely deduce the entire process. Even though these small, unexpected sparks appeared minimally, Feng Yuan still thought of inspecting them. He forcibly stopped the killer move once again. Be it Unravel Mystery Immortal Gu or Chi Luck Immortal Gu, they had to be used at the final juncture. Thus, although he lost many Mortal Gu, they were inconsequential. After repeated trial and error, he continued to deduce and modify it. Several days later, Feng Yuan finally obtained a relatively perfect version of Chi Luck Sensation. This Immortal Killer move used 3 times the number of Gu Worms as before, with 2 Immortal Gu as the core, Unravel Mystery Immortal Gu and Chi Luck Immortal Gu. They were like 2 shining suns in the sky. Activating the new Qi Luck sensation, a mystical feeling appeared. Inside Fang Yuan. First, he detected Yi Fan, Hong Yi, and Han Li. They were in southern border, central continent, and western desert respectively. The exact details were clearer than before, especially Yi Fan. Fang Yuan could tell that he was currently on Shangliang Mountain. The rest were more vague. Ing Wuxie and He Lulan appeared in Fang Yuan's detection again. It was vague, countless times less clear compared to Yi Fan. He also did not know their exact location, but Fang Yuan could tell the general area they were in. Strange. Other than Ing Wuxie and He Lulan, there is a third person, but they are just as unclear as them. Don't tell me Ing Wuxie used Connect Luck Immortal Gu to connect his luck with an unknown Gu Immortal? Fang Yuan guessed the truth immediately that he frowned. Connect Luck Immortal Gu was in Ing Wuxie's hands. This was no secret. This was Fang Yuan's weakness. Currently, Fang Yuan no longer used Spring Autumn Cicada. He sealed it. In regards to luck, with Dogshit Luck Immortal Gu's protection, it had turned from a weakness to his strength. But Ing Wuxie and the rest were taking a portion of Fang Yuan's advantage. When Giant Sun Immortal Venerable developed in his early days, a lot of his success was attributed to this Dogshit Luck Immortal Gu. But Fang Yuan was not enjoying it alone. His Dogshit Luck Immortal Gu's effect was split among other people. If it was split equally with Yi Fan, Han Li, He Lulan, and Hong Yi, so be it. After all, these were 4 lucky people. But Ing Wuxie and that new Gu Immortal were huge burdens. They were weakening the effects of Dogshit Luck. This direction. To think that they are in southern border. Ing Wuxie and the rest need to be eliminated. After killing them, I will be truly safe. Nobody would come after the sovereign immortal body again. At the same time, after I kill them and remove the threat, my luck will rise greatly. The true power of Dogshit Luck would be unleashed. At this moment, Fang Yuan was filled with killing intent. He wanted to move immediately and get rid of Ing Wuxie and the rest once and for all. Central Continent. It is time. We can go now. Rank 8 Gu Immortal Wei Ling Yang shouted. His voice was hoarse. He had a middle-aged appearance with dark bags under his eyes and looked listless, giving others a feeling of extreme fatigue. But he was the strongest among the 3 Rank 8 Gu Immortals on this journey. He was tasked as the leader of this rescue mission. Along with him, there were Bai Chun Tian and Myriad Tidal Dragon. These 2 were Rank 8 Gu Immortals as well. Bai Chun Tian joined the Battle of Etian Mountain and survived in the end. Myriad Tidal Dragon had higher seniority than Bai Chun Tian. Recently, he was given pointers by Duke Long. His strength rose again. Duke Long was old, and it was difficult for him to fight once again. But he controlled the situation and immediately changed the way that Heavenly Court functioned. They sent out 3 Rank 8 Gu Immortals, all from Heavenly Court. They had phantom apertures, but their battle strength greatly surpassed the Rank 8 Gu Immortals of the 10 Great Ancient Sections. The Immortals acknowledged his words and split into 3 groups, entering 3 Immortal Gu houses respectively. These 3 Immortal Gu houses were Wind Cloud Manor's wind-sweeping building. It had 7 floors and had fluttering curtains. Heavenly Lotus Sect's Canary Pavilion, small and exquisite, filled with liveliness. Combat Immortal Sect's Edge Link Camp. It was a military stronghold with waving battle flags. Each Immortal Gu house was guarded by a Rank 8 Gu Immortal. Zhao Lianyun was in the middle one, Wind Cloud Manor's wind-sweeping building. She was at the top floor, the safest place inside this Immortal Gu house. Right now, our group is too powerful. We have 3 Rank 8 Gu Immortals, as well as 3 Immortal Gu houses. Victory is basically assured. Bu Junzi followed behind Zhao Lianyun, saying this. Zhao Lianyun nodded. She was expressionless, but her heart was jumping. Hong Yun, I am coming. You must persevere. The 3 Immortal Gu houses were like shooting stars, flying towards the sky. Edge Link Camp was at the front, opening a path for the rest. Wind-sweeping building was in the middle, in charge of reinforcements. Canary Pavilion was at the back, looking out for unexpected situations. The Heavenly Wind Chi Wall was right before them. Boom! Edge Link Camp unleashed its might. Giant sharp horns were formed, resembling solid figures, as they stabbed into the Heavenly Wind Chi Wall fiercely. Without any resistance, they forcefully created a tunnel. Wind-sweeping building and canary pavilion followed after it quickly. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Wind-sweeping building continued to shake. Zhao Yin was also shaking at the top floor, almost falling down. Buzhenzi was tongue-tied. It is said that the heavenly wind-chi wall is thicker than the 5 regional walls. It seems to be true after seeing it myself. Our wind-sweeping building is just in the center, moving along the created tunnel, yet the heavenly winds are already causing us to be so unstable. It is hard to imagine what it is like inside Edge Link Camp. The heavenly wind-chi wall was created by heavenly wind-chi. Even after creating a tunnel, the wind would rush in and fill the gap very quickly. Thus, the 3 immortal goo houses were very close together, almost touching the edges of each other. They continued to charge forward. Halfway through their journey, Edge Link Camp lost many goo worms. Its charging power fell, and it went to the back. Wind-sweeping building replaced Edge Link Camp's spot, taking charge of creating a path ahead. After a quarter of the journey, Canary Pavilion went to the front. This way, some days later, the 3 immortal goo houses finally broke through the heavenly wind-chi wall and reached Black Heaven. Right now, in the Goo Master world, there were only Black Heaven and White Heaven left of the immemorial 9 heavens. It was clear why they did not choose White Heaven. It was to prevent exposing themselves. Black Heaven had natural concealment. It could help to hide the traces of the 3 immortal goo houses to an extent. This way, the Central Continent Goo Immortals would ensure that they had the advantage in launching a sneak attack on this journey. Chapter 1240. Usefulness of Attainment Level. Southern Border. Inside the Super Goo Formation, Feng Yuan recalled the power of Qi Luck Sensation, realizing the usefulness of Attainment Level. The process of elevating Qi Luck Sensation just now was quite tedious, but it was actually very easy. Everything flowed naturally like water running down a drain. Ordinary Goo Immortals would face difficulty in trying to improve or complete an Immortal Killer move. For example, Vicious Lightning Fiend from Myriad Dragon Dock of the 10 Great Ancient Sects took years before creating the Immortal Killer move Lightning Deity. Vicious Lightning Fiend's Lightning Deity was deduced using the remnant recipe of Blood Deity. It involved both Lightning Path and Blood Path. Vicious Lightning Fiend had enough Lightning Path attainment level, but his Blood Path attainment was just ordinary. Thus, he had to spend years using resources from Myriad Dragon Dock to succeed with difficulty. This is the lack of attainment level. One can only deduce forcefully. Maybe high wisdom path attainment level can provide a lot of help. Otherwise, inspiration or time would be needed. Hei Fan was a time path great expert, but even he had many immortal killer moves that were not completed after his death, right? However, once the attainment level is sufficient, deducing killer moves will no longer be deductions. It would be an instinct. It is extremely easy. Feng Yuan thought about it. Just now, he elevated the immortal killer move Qi Luck Sensation. He only spent a few days, but the results were shocking. When creating the framework of the immortal killer move, Feng Yuan did not think much. He only had a vague concept in his mind. Next, when he chose Goo Worms, as long as they were Luck Path or Wisdom Path Mortal Goo, he had a strong instinct about the selection. Instinct. This was hard to imagine. It really was, but once the attainment level was sufficient, one's understanding towards Goo Worms and the concepts of immortal killer moves of the specific paths would turn into an instinct of the Goo Immortal. This instinct was like a natural skill, as if one had it since birth. It was simple and effortless, like how someone could breathe through their nose. It was a natural thing. Attainment level is one's understanding of the Great Tao. My Luck Path attainment is Master level. This allows me to have acute sensations towards all contents of Luck Path. It is hard to describe with words. When elevating Qi Luck Sensation, I did not need to test anything. I already knew what Goo Worms would be suitable as the supplementary goo. Similarly, for Wisdom Path, I have Wisdom Path Grandmaster attainment level. My understanding of Wisdom Path surpasses Luck Path. Thus, I could perfectly fuse Unravel Mystery Immortal Goo into Qi Luck Sensation successfully. Feng Yuan concluded and realized that the benefit of attainment level surpassed his former expectations. Being able to annex more immortal apertures was just a physical benefit. It had great effects on other aspects as well. If I raise all of my attainment levels to Grandmaster, or even Great Grandmaster in the future, Will I be able to create a terrifying killer move that uses all of the paths? Fang Yuan's thoughts started to wander. In fact, Spectral Soul had already reached this level. Perhaps this was why he could create sovereign immortal fetus goo. Conceptualizing immortal killer moves was the same in essence as creating immortal goo recipes. Thinking of Spectral Soul, Fang Yuan subconsciously looked towards a certain direction in southern border. Not long ago, he had confirmed with Qi Luck sensation that xianxia and gang were over in that direction in southern border. Fang Yuan had already known the rough range of their whereabouts. Even though Fang Yuan had deep killing intent towards xianxia and the others, he thought about it and decided to make some preparations before starting his assault. Even though Fang Yuan hatched the upper extreme Heavenly Eagle, it only had rank 6 battle strength. xianxia and the rest had wrong information, thinking that Fang Yuan had rank 8 battle strength, but he could not possibly use this non-existent power to kill them, right? In the previous battle in Eastern Sea, Fang Yuan saw the strength of xianxia and the others. This time, after a long while, Fang Yuan could not estimate whether xianxia and the rest had inherited Shadow Sect's resources and gained a huge boost in strength to play it safe. Fang Yuan made a lot of preparations, just in case that he wanted to use this chance to get rid of this huge threat. Qi Luck sensation was a great example. Fang Yuan had also already started to fuse Myriad Self and Sword Dragon transformation. Other than that, he even borrowed Immortal Goo from Wu Clan. This was the benefit of joining Wu Clan.it was different from Langya's sect. That was a sect and required sect contribution points. But Wu Clan was a clan. Fang Yuan's identity was Wu Yihai, the younger brother of Wu Yong. He had the closest bloodline relationship in the entire clan. Thus, when Fang Yuan asked to borrow some immortal goo from Wu Clan's treasury, Wu Yong did not stop him. He agreed that in fact, Wu Yong was quite satisfied with Fang Yuan's recent performance. After Fang Yuan went to the Super Goo formation, he held his side of the agreement and did not interfere in Wu Clan's politics. This allowed Wu Yong to easily gain control of Wu Clan. Secondly, Fang Yuan, who acted as Wu Yihai, perfectly handled the immortal opportunity business. He displayed great political abilities and prevented Ba Clan from interfering. He helped Wu Clan control the situation and defend their territory inside the giant dream realm. This was a contribution to Wu Clan. Wu Yong remembered Fang Yuan's contribution. Thus, he not only agreed to lend some immortal goo from the treasury, he even lowered the cost of doing so. Fang Yuan paid a lot of Eastern Sea resources to borrow multiple immortal goo. Among them were Strength Path Dragon Strength Immortal Goo and Transformation Path Dragon Scales Immortal Goo. They were all available. These immortal goo were added to fuse Myriad Self and Sword Dragon transformation, providing great help to Fang Yuan. By Xiang Grotto Heaven. Inside the Super Goo formation, He Lu Lan, Shinu, Tai Bai Yun Sheng, and xianxia were at 4 spots, defending against Bai Ningbing. Howl. The Super Goo formation was activated. Intense winds blew. Ice blades shot out, encircling the 4 Goo immortals. With xianxia leading and the 3 immortals helping, they resisted the Super Goo formation's pressure. Even though they were in a difficult state, the formation was still quite stable. Suddenly, a figure appeared in front of Tai Bai Yun Sheng.it was Bai Ningbing. But only her upper body was present. Her lower half was like smoke. Bai Ningbing appeared and charged towards Tai Bai Yun Sheng. Tai Bai Yun Sheng was the weakest among the 4 immortals. Bai Ningbing chose to attack him. It was the right choice. Tai Bai Yun Sheng quickly retreated. In the battle earlier, he had already seen how powerful Bai Ningbing's attacks were. He suffered a lot due to it. If not for the other immortals' help, he would have died already. Change. Shinu go. Seeing Tai Bai Yun Sheng's predicament, xianxia quickly commanded that a white light appeared on all 4 of them. Before a deep eerie sigh was heard in the sky, Shinu and Tai Bai Yun Sheng had changed locations, swapping as Shinu faced Bai Ningbing's attack. Shinu grunted, defending against it. Tai Bai Yun Sheng was behind Shinu. Seeing this, he quickly used his Cloud Path Immortal Goo to heal him. Bai Ningbing is getting stronger. She is familiarizing herself with Bai Xiang's methods. She is in control of many Ice and Snow Path Immortal Goo that Bai Xiang had. The longer this drags on, the worse it will be for us. Damn it! Bai Xiang Heavenly Spirit actually had the humans-alike dragon's goo refinement method. Wasn't this method completely eliminated by Duke Long? How could he have missed this? Also, during the battle earlier, I sensed something in my luck. Fang Yuan actually raised his detection method to this extent. Even if I hide inside an immortal aperture now, he would still discover me. Ing Wuxia was facing huge pressure. Bai Ningbing betrayed them and was getting stronger every minute. Ing Wuxia and the rest were desperately trying to defend against her. They could not leave that. On the other hand, Fang Yuan knew where they were, but Ing Wuxia had the information that Fang Yuan possessed rank 8 battle strength. If he got here, Bai Xiang Grotto Heaven could not block the immemorial desolate beast upper extreme heavenly eagle. This meant that Fang Yuan could appear at any moment. Ing Wuxia would not even be surprised if Fang Yuan showed up suddenly at the next moment. Bai Ningbing, stop it. Fighting would harm us both. Only working together will bring benefits. Since you are now a dragon man, you are qualified to inherit the immortal Goo House Dragon Palace. In the past, the dragon men were extremely powerful with a large number of Goo immortals. They managed to create Dragon Palace. After the dragon men went extinct, Immortal Goo House Dragon Palace has been secretly hidden in a certain area of Eastern Sea. My Shadow sect knows roughly where it is, but only someone who has used the humans-alike dragon's Goo refinement method to become a Dragon Man Goo immortal can inherit it. If you work with us, Dragon Palace will be yours. Ing Wuxia shouted. Bai Ningbing had no reaction. The Super Goo formation was continuing to attack unceasingly. Ing Wuxia was stifled. He called out. Bai Ningbing, it will be too late if you don't stop. A great enemy whom we both know of is coming. He has a rank 8 level upper extreme heavenly eagle and has already used luck path methods to find out our location. I am not lying to you. Our luck vibrated earlier. You must have sensed it too, right? Bai Ningbing snorted, transmitting. I would like him to come here. I want to cooperate with him. Even if I have to give up this Bai Xiang Grotto Heaven, so be it. Ing Wuxia was anxious. He yelled, aren't we clear what kind of person he is? You are playing with fire. You will get burned to a crisp in the end. Wait, why do you want to cooperate with him? Bai Ningbing sneered. This is our business. It has nothing to do with you. The 4 of you should just die here. Ing Wuxia had a flash of inspiration. I know. You want that rotation goo in his hands? That's right. You used the humans-alike dragon's goo refinement method but turned into a dragon lady. You want to become a man? You need to solve the origin of the issue. I have the goo worm that you need. It is with me. What? Bai Ningbing was surprised. For the first time since the super goo formation attacking Ing Wuxia had activated, it showed signs of slowing down.